everyone, and welcome to Alcon Arcana, a questionably accurate discussion on fantasy lore. I'm your warrior for the Wizengamot, Blake.
Bryce is a free elf. I'm Bryce.
And I'm your favorite son of a whore, Crux Travis Coma.
God damn, that was beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
I was confused at first, but then you saved it.
You didn't know where I was coming with that one.
So what is everybody
you're
drinking
coming.
today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you what I'm drinking today. I am drinking a new one from No Label, which is right here by my house, called Fiesta Forever. Beautiful artwork. I love the artwork.
Yeah, it is. I really love those cans.
It's like comic booky, but it has like scenes from around Houston because it is local to Houston.
Do you know that feels kind of like, it almost feels like an Andy Warhol Houston like abstract can.
It definitely
that makes sense.
It definitely has that feel. And if our listeners want to see it, I threw it up on our Instagram today.
Sweet.
Be sure and check it out. You can also visit their website, I'm sure, or even their Instagram. I tagged them. But anyway, this is a 4.7%. It is a dark Mexican style lager.
Whoa.
So I haven't tried it yet. I'm excited to try it.
Mexican style.
Houston breweries really haven't put out enough Mexican style lagers. I really feel like that's like one of the weaknesses of them. I don't know why they haven't.
Yeah.
What's an example? Another example of a Mexican style lager, so I can
Dos Equis.
square it. Okay,
Man,
right.
and this is real good.
Is it?
Yeah, they did it. They did it right.
Sick.
Yeah.
Travis, what are you drinking today?
I've got something from a local brewery as well. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Walking Stick. It's literally within walking distance of the house. So we went over there and grabbed a couple of brews a few days ago and took them to go. And this one's called
big is that
Sunlight
can?
Saison. I've actually just shrunk. This is a normal sized can, but I got caught in the washer and in the cold water
You didn't put it on. Oh man, you didn't put it on delicates. That'll do it.
Yeah, came out a little roughed up and a little shortened up. And now this is called Sunlight Saison. It is 7.5% ABV, and I've got 32 ounces here, so this should last me through the whole recording, and I'm really excited about it. So we give it a shot.
I'm excited for you. Well, why don't you let us know how that tastes, brother? Pop that bad boy open and let us know.
You're gonna
That's
get
the sound of
pouring.
a keg being cracked open.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in a pint as well, so you get a little of that.
Oh, what a beautiful sound effect, sir! And I ruined it.
No, it's fine.
good.
Just don't
good.
put the bubbles next to the fucking mic again.
The bubbles.
You dick.
God,
Right.
you got a
Great
full
pour.
glass
What
of
the
nothing
fuck,
but head.
Travis?
Hey, that's
Travis,
actually
that is more foam than beer.
no. That's actually what they teach you. That's how they teach you to pour beer. You want almost all foam.
In Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want you to hate beer.
No, I actually did go through a tour of someone, and they said, yeah, actually, the more foam, the more it aerates, and it's actually it sometimes can improve the taste of your beer. So
Yeah, if you like flat beer.
What that's called is someone trying to make their customer happy. Like, I pour a lot and it has a lot of foam. Is that good? Yeah, it's great.
I'm just appealing to the authority of that guy who led me on a tour of his brewery, and so
Yeah,
I
honestly,
respect that.
he knows
if you have
all.
a siphon, just get rid of all that liquid at the bottom. Like, fuck it, you just want the foam.
I just want the foam.
Yeah.
Well, he said just let it sit. Give it a couple minutes.
I do like that pint glass. What's the animal print on the front?
That is a Ridgeback dog. It's called Ridgeback Ale from, I don't know where this comes from. It's No Label. This is actually a No Label.
Yeah,
pint
Ridgeback
glass.
is really good.
Yeah.
Sick.
Ridgeback is one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see
All right.
it. All right, I'm going to give
awesome.
it a taste.
Yeah, please do.
Very light. I like it. A lot of flavor. Good Saison. Walking Stick has some really solid beers. They have a peach one, too, that I recommend.
Okay.
You try it.
I really want to try that peach one. I need to find it
Yeah,
somewhere.
no, pretty much any. I'm usually a huge fan of any peach beer. Obviously, I think our listeners at this point realize we all love fruity beers. Like,
We all like them fish
any beer
beers.
that has some fruit in it. Yeah, let's fucking
It's
go.
so
for
great
it.
in the summer here.
Dude. It's so hot here. Like, it's so hot. Like, I can't deal with a lot of your bitter beers when it's just that hot.
Yeah.
You know, come on. Speaking of, I have a very special beer today. This beer is it's actually a big beer.
Look at that.
That was a big beer.
It's a very big beer. It's a beer that's actually made from grapes and carbonated.
Great beer.
I believe they call it a champagne style beer.
They didn't put any hops with those, I hear.
Oh, so it's a Miller High Life.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is a Miller
The
High Life.
champagne of beer.
I would say that it's called it's André, I believe is the name of
Fancy.
it.
It sounds French.
Yeah. It is. It is. It's well. It's actually, you would think that, but it's from California.
Oh, no shit.
And I know that these types of beers are made to celebrate things. So I decided to buy this beer today to celebrate the death of Albus Dumbledore. So let's go ahead and open that. Let's get that going.
This is...
Oh, wait, and
I don't like this.
I don't know if I want to participate
Ooh!
in the celebration, though. This seems a
Man,
little...
look, I'm drinking this whole bottle.
I'm gonna pour one out for my dead homie.
As a man,
in poor taste.
as celebrating, it's like celebrating the death of Hitler. You know,
This
like you're
seems
pretty
in poor
happy about it,
taste.
so you're just gonna drink the whole thing straight from the bottle. Why even waste a cup? And let me see how this beautiful beer Andre is.
Blake has
I hope you
not
choke on it.
so nicely led us into, with all the tact of a Slytherin,
Yeah, I would say it's extra dry.
has led us into the discussion of today. If you haven't already somewhat guessed, it's we're going to be talking about Albus Dumbledore,
The greatest wizard to ever have lived.
the main character of the popular Harry Potter series. Which I never
weird they
understood
named
why
it
it
after
wasn't
someone
called.
else.
Yeah, I always wondered why it wasn't called the Dumbledore book
Chronicles.
series, since he was the main character of it. But
The rage that's building in my gut right now as you make these jokes.
Yeah,
No, these aren't jokes.
it's-
We are 100% serious.
Yeah, the rage that's building as you say these dumb points. Then let's do that. But before we get started, this Andre, for $5, I believe this special type of beer is called the Champagne, and it is quite good. Definitely has a nice crisp taste to it. I feel like I could drink this with breakfast almost. Like maybe if I had like a breakfast or a lunch type of meal together.
Maybe mix it a little with orange juice.
I don't know what you would
bubbly
call
orange
that.
Juice.
Oh, and a
put some
citrusy
orange
juice
juice in
would
there,
definitely
yeah.
feel good with this.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I could definitely see some citrusy juice going well. Maybe some pineapple even. As you know, I'm a big fan of the pineapple.
I know
I'm
your girlfriend.
Go on.
Your girlfriend, whom you live with, has
true.
a very sweet champagne bong flute, specifically made to bong champagne. I know she has this because I bought it for her.
You're not wrong, and it's never been used. Bryce,
Yes.
I will
they
open
re-gifted
it
that
right
to
now
me,
and
and then
use
we
it
actually
if
do
you
it.
would like me to.
Yes, I would love
Okay,
it.
give me a moment.
I've never
Give me a
seen
moment.
it used.
all right, he's
Hell
about to
yeah.
actually go get this champagne bong. Is that what you said?
It's called a shambong. Now, this was before I had ever met Jordan in person. I drew her name for our friend group's Secret Santa. And I was like, well, I know her from like Instagram posts, and I know she does drink. So I bought her like, I don't know, like a weird adult coloring book and a shambong.
That's awesome.
And apparently she's never used it, so she loves the gift.
Yeah, I think you vastly overestimated her alcoholism then.
Yeah, clearly. I'm the alcoholic.
So that's why you bought two, and you have one for yourself. I don't know if does he have it? Oh, he's looking
He doesn't
for
even
it.
know where it is. They love it so much that they don't know where they put it.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh if they actually did regift it though. Jordan's
She's
gonna
like, oh no, don't talk about that.
So this is real
He
awkward,
thinks I
but
still
we
have
actually,
it.
we actually gave that away to another person.
He's gonna come back with some bullshit excuse. Oh, it's in the dishwasher, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we know exactly where it is in the dishwasher. You're supposed to hand wash shambongs. Everybody knows that.
Of course, yeah. Who doesn't know that? Dumbledore, though, he's good. He's not bad.
I think
Like
you
Blake
can just
thinks.
sort of leave it at that. I mean, case closed at that point.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
The defense rests.
Tune in next week.
Dumbledore, good. You know,
Mhm.
he's got it. He's got it. He's
Oh, he does
got
have
it.
it.
All right, Blake,
All right,
you've got the
you found it.
shambong.
I have found the
retrieved
shambong.
it. First of all, tell us where you retrieved it from and why it wasn't in the most prominent place that you keep all of your most necessary household items.
Well, I found it actually one drawer to the left of the silverware drawer, which is where you normally keep your bong type materials. I didn't
tobacco
look there
only.
immediately, mainly because I'm a fool. You know, like I should have known exactly where it was.
Yeah.
That's on me. You know, I put it in the right place. It just wasn't there.
The way it's
But with
shaped.
that, I'd also like to point out that on the front of this shambong, it has a beautiful little thing called the Bubble Butler.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's
right?
called.
So I have a
Butler.
Bubble Butler
This
here.
episode brought to you by the Bubble Butler.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Bubble Butler. And why don't we try this?
truly
bad boy?
coveted sponsorship.
Let's see how shambong and it works.
Yeah,
you know?
I just want to see him pour this shit all over
Yeah, how's this
himself as he
gonna-
tries.
This is gonna work. So just to
don't know
describe
why
to
you
the
guys are
listeners
so,
what
like-
this is, It's shaped like a champagne flute.
But it has a
fluted
tube
glass
coming out the bottom.
with a tube shaped at a 90-degree angle out of the bottom. And I think you got to commit to it. Here's the issue. So you filled up the glass, but at this point, you've got to commit. You just got to shove that tube down the gullet.
That's not gonna hurt anything. Let me go grab. Hey Jordan,
you got to go ahead and just chug it now and then grab something.
You got to do it. No regrets.
Talking.
No regrets.
No regrets. Can I have some paper towels?
All of them. Bring them all.
8. We have several rolls. All right, so it is. We're gonna take a picture of the shambong and we will put it on our. Just thank you. Oh, it's just a small amount. Thank you.
She's so confused when she walked in. She's like,
look
what the
of
fuck
judgment.
is he doing?
And deserved and very deserved. All right, we're good to go.
She thought that was some sort of lab equipment. She's like, I never knew what this was for.
I think that we're certainly going to take a picture of the shambong and we will put it on our social media sites for this. I think we should add the shambong in to the rest of this episode in some way, shape, or form. Everybody ready?
I don't know what that means, but okay. And go. Pretty good. He's done this before, folks.
Oh, that was
so delicious.
That was just too easy almost.
Yeah, that was very quick.
Oh, that was wonderful. Wow, but the Bubble Butler knows what to do. Like he can really set you up.
Takes care of it for you. Yeah.
I think that I'm willing to anytime that Travis succeeds in agreeing on my point over yours, Bryce, in this argument, that I will take a full-on Bubble Butler.
You're gonna take it when he agrees with you, not when he agrees with me.
Yeah, because I won. Why would I take champagne when you win? Like, why would I waste my time?
All right. This is going to be champagneful for you.
The incentive structure has shifted out of your favor, Bryce, because now I really want to keep seeing him.
How many bottles of that Andre you got?
I have 1 bottle of Andre currently.
Jordan!
But regardless, let's Travis, I need you to still be a professional here.
I'm gonna
okay? The professionals we are.
You know what? You can go ahead and throw that champagne in the garbage because you won't be needing it anymore. You're not going to be drinking. Let's go.
I like the confidence.
That hurts.
Well, let me.
Dumbledore. What do we know about this?
Let me clear the air real quick, just to make sure that we're all sort of aware of what perspective I'm coming into this equation. I know very little about Albus Dumbledore, and so this is really good for me to be somewhat of a clean slate coming into the argument section of why we don't like or we do like Albus Dumbledore. I think we have one specific inquiry in mind that we want to solve, and that is he a good headmaster of a children's school? Is he somewhat dangerous? Is he somewhat helpful in molding and shaping the minds of our young wizards? I come to this having only read all of the books and seen all the movies.
Having only. Okay. Got it.
So I am only ready with all of the material currently.
Pretty much square one. And so I think I'm open to either side of the equation. So I think I just wanted to be transparent with both of you so you know kind of what you're working with when it comes to how I deliberate these arguments.
Yeah. And I am under the ideology that he was a very great wizard, and not only a great wizard, but he was a very good headmaster, if not one of the best. And Blake is just wrong, so we can get started.
Yeah, I will concede that Albus Dumbledore is a phenomenal wizard. I will never admit that he should be in charge of children because he's the worst headmaster in Hogwarts history that I know of.
Bryce, so you're already wrong, sir.
Let me ask Bryce a question.
Dolores Umbridge was headmaster for a short time. You're telling me she was better for the children than Albus Dumbledore?
We'll get there. We're
there now. You're wrong.
We'll get there.
All right. So order. Bryce.
Point of order.
Bryce, as the only person here that has a child,
we do another jambong before we get rolling.
Yeah, you gotta
keep going. Keep talking.
Just like almost all lawyers.
You weren't agreed with yet.
He's got to grease the wheels, like this is how all lawyers operate. I'm surprised we're not seeing him just do rails off of the
Don't talk about my business life. Don't talk about my business life right now.
So, what he does in the bathroom of his office building is his business, okay?
That's how you make the big bucks.
The maintenance crew always gets a couple residues, so they're always happy about it.
Does your cocaine appear as line items in the invoice to your clients? Like, is that actually something that just by law do you have to declare?
We typically bill that as team meetings.
Okay. So if I see that, that's if you see that on your invoice, folks, no, that's what it means. But Bryce, you're the only one of this group that has a child.
Yep.
And so I would like to know just really quickly your perspective of what it means to to be a safe principal or headmaster or something like that. Like what would you expect as a parent of a child that's going into Hogwarts?
So I would expect,
because I want to frame this up a little bit because we don't really know. Like I don't.
No, that's
I don't
a good
know
point. That's a great question. Can I frame it slightly differently? Can I frame it slightly differently, if you don't mind, before you answer, Bryce?
Yeah.
Because you're clearly not a wizard, right?
Well, I like to think of myself as somewhat of a wizard.
Let's assume you're not. Let's assume that you and Kayla are both not wizards.
You can't just start telling people they're not wizards.
You get a delivery from an owl on your doorstep that says, your kid's a wizard and they should come to my school. How do you handle that?
I'm like, fuck yeah, man. My kid's like...
No, you don't know anything else about this place that you're potentially sending your child to, and you're just going to say, yeah?
Nothing else.
An owl came and delivered a message, and also, let me point out, whenever you do, like, sort of receive word from that world, as a muggle, a non-magic person, your mind is...
I had no idea what that
your
was.
mind is sort of, like, enlightened to that, so, like, you suddenly... You know that this is a thing that exists.
So you're already being manipulated by these forces.
Well, you're no longer being manipulated.
Thank you, Travis. Being manipulated. That's exactly accurate.
You're no longer being manipulated. You're no longer subject to that sort of shroud over your eyes.
Okay. So you're kind of coming at this with like a pro bias, pro magic bias, pro wizard bias. As a parent, you'd be like excited that your kid is going to this mystery school. But, I mean, you'd have no follow-up questions about, okay,
well, yeah,
where
sure.
is
That's
the
what,
school?
like, orientation's for, you know?
By the way, where is Hogwarts?
Hey, I'd like to point out there is no orientation.
You don't know that for sure. It never says explicitly there is no orientation.
I do. Not a single student there is ready for orientation. Harry doesn't get an orientation letter. Ron doesn't get an orientation letter. There is no orientation.
If it's
Ron
not in the books,
grew up in a magic family. He doesn't need one.
That's fine.
If it's not
Harry
in the books, it didn't
grew
happen.
up in a magic family.
Harry did?
Yeah, you know who doesn't have an orientation? Hermione.
Who is
has
the
a
most
family
prepared
of
there?
dentists.
She had to have gotten some sort of indication.
Family. Get out of here.
Who was the most prepared first-year student in the history of first-year students? It was Hermione Granger, and that is because she was non-magic and she received all the information on the school.
We all get that.
She was totally prepared.
So going back to a question, where is Hogwarts in? I think I read Scotland. Is that right? Where is Hogwarts?
I don't know. It's,
there's no
Europe.
official setting. It's somewhere in northern UK, whether that's
UK,
Scotland or below that. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay.
It's magically shrouded.
It's certainly not in Ireland, because
Hey.
Can you imagine being in Ireland?
I'm Irish too. I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine it being in Ireland?
Can you imagine how dumb it would be if it was Irish? Oh my god. Oh, they'd be the worst school. Anyways.
Wow. Okay. So you're sending your kid.
I'm kidding to none of our Irish listeners because we have none. But
Denmark though would be fantastic.
Man, how cool would a school be in Denmark?
Denmark's magic school is the best magic school in Europe.
Number one location for any school ever, Denmark.
Absolutely.
We love you,
The
listeners.
people are great. They're just
in Denmark in general.
Yeah. I think Albus Dumbledore, if he had grown up in sort of a Denmark-Danish environment, I think he would have grown up to be a much better man.
He could not have possibly have been a better man.
Oh, Bryce!
What,
no.
Are we gonna start talking about this? Or are you just gonna keep saying bullshit without any
Okay, let's talk about
backing it up?
Okay.
So Travis, Bryce and I are clearly on separate sides of the aisle. So let's let you lead this. How do you want to go by book? Do you want to go by general topic? What are you feeling? You need answers.
I need answers. I need to make.
No, you're making baseless claims right now, Blake. I think you should have to back up these claims.
I will absolutely back up.
So
these claims. That is not a problem.
The claim is that Albus Dumbledore is not a good headmaster. Is that correct? That's the claim.
A little bit. Not even a little bit. I'll drink to that 1 second.
All right. So
You're not even following your own rules.
He was looking for any excuse to just start using the
I
bubble butler.
was. I was ready to get that one in my gut.
All right. So Blake,
But
tell
I'll pour
me
another one while we talk.
what good is to you, and tell me why Albus doesn't meet that criteria.
Well, I have a lot of reasons, but the very basic minimum is I'm looking for a headmaster who is advocating for good education for the children.
Yep.
Right? I need a headmaster who is always going to put the children's safety first.
Okay.
And I need a headmaster who is very upfront and very forthcoming about the rules for wherever my child is going.
Okay.
Is that fair?
I think
Sure.
that's fair.
I'm with you.
All right. Now, Bryce, go ahead. What do you think makes a good headmaster?
No, I'm with you 100%. Those are all very good things.
Okay.
I think he should have definitely the interest of the students first and foremost, both their safety and their education.
Okay.
I mean, that's number one. But other than that,
I agree.
like, everything else is secondary.
I'm with you.
So let's-
I'm with you.
Let's start. I have one question then, and I think we could almost all agree on kind of the principle, and then we'll talk about the context here. Were the children of Hogwarts safe?
No.
Yeah, they clearly were.
I don't. No,
No.
come on, Bryce.
Not
many died at
Not
Hogwarts?
even a little bit. Not even a little
How
bit.
many died at Hogwarts?
Several.
I honestly don't remember
I
how
think
many
a hand-
died at Hogwarts.
I think a solid handful.
Okay,
It's
a handful
good
out of how many?
It's a good handful.
This is good.
Were
No
these-
child.
I agree with
did
this.
they-
I will happily admit that no child dies until the 4th book during a school sanctioned event.
Who was headmaster during that? Was it
During the
Umbridge?
4th book, Albus Dumbledore.
Yeah, I think Umbridge was 5th.
So
She was.
So two questions.
Was he there though? Because he did leave, and there was
No,
like a pro temp.
he was certainly in the death of Cedric Diggory is 100% on Albus Dumbledore's shoulders.
Okay.
All right,
Wait a minute.
Okay,
I don't. All right.
I don't know about
let's-
100%.
We'll get
Okay,
to. I want to
let-
unpack this a little bit more, but I want to say I want to have.
You know what? I might have gone too far. Regardless,
I-
he's at least culpable.
I,
Go ahead.
I have a
Travis.
question and I have a statement. I have a question.
Let me go ahead and take this champagne real quick.
My question is the mortality rate of a student at Hogwarts. I'd like to see the statistics sort of rolling over time because we kind of know we have an image of what the mortality rate is for certain leadership under.
Hey, can I
Albus
before
Dumbledore,
you
but how does
keep
that
going? Before
compare?
you keep going, can I? Hey, Travis, before you keep going, can I add one extra caveat to what I think makes a good headmaster?
Yes.
Hiring good teachers.
That's an important component of the job description. I think you got to keep the students safe. You do probably have a say over the curriculum. You're
So Travis, can I ask you, who is our neutral arbiter of this? What do you believe a good headmaster of a school takes? Right? I need to know what I'm arguing for.
Yeah,
So
I
you tell
agree.
me,
I agree
what
with all
is a
the
good
points.
headmaster?
I agree with all your points. However, with the world of magic being mysterious and somewhat of a different baseline of danger than maybe what we're used to, what I'd like to say
We
is,
grew up in the U.S. where
Yeah.
school shootings are not only common but expected.
Okay,
Go ahead
that's
with
fair.
your level
Okay,
of danger.
That's fair. So, but we're
Nah,
we're
they
at
are
a
not
different
common,
level.
nor are they expected.
They are common.
Yeah, this is
Well,
true.
what is common?
More than once a year?
Oh man, then
That's fair.
everything is common.
Well,
How many school
not,
shootings did Hogwarts
not children
have?
dying at Hogwarts isn't common.
Yeah. We'll talk.
I will say if I don't remember too much about the books. I will say that I think a lot of the child deaths happened after Albus Dumbledore was replaced. Right, a lot of the child death happened
No.
after the fact.
Technically accurate, but that
Technically?
is not the only reason he is a shitty headmaster. However,
Okay, move the goalpost. Go ahead. Where are they now?
Well, go to
there are more than one things we need to talk about, Bryce.
expand on your point about the selection of the faculty members because that is I think a pretty interesting line of
go
thought
ahead.
here.
Do you want me to run through all the books for his selection of faculty members? Because I will.
Just hit a couple of
do the highlights.
important ones.
Yeah.
No, there's literally every book is a highlight. Let's go through them. First book, he hires someone who is literally Hitler
For what position?
for the defense of the dark arts.
You talking about
go ahead.
Quirrell?
He hires Professor Quirrell, who has Hitler attached to his head. That one. The second book, he hires someone who is so
Against,
clearly incompetent, and it is so easy within one discussion with him, you know he is incompetent.
For what position?
He still hires this person for
what
the
position?
defense against the dark arts position.
Okay.
Defense against the dark arts.
All right. I think I see where Bryce is going with
In
this.
the third book, he hires a werewolf to the defense against the dark arts position because that's the position that's always open. So he literally brings a full-blown fucking werewolf to town without telling any parents.
Who has proven to have it under control. Go ahead.
He attacked a student. He attacked 2 students in that book. Anyways, in the fourth book for the defense against the dark arts position, he hires a doppelganger who is a Death Eater, aka a wizard Nazi, and he teaches the children for a whole year.
Again,
That was Defense Against the Dark Arts?
my
That was
pushback.
Defense Against the
Okay,
Dark Arts.
go ahead.
pushback-
In the fifth book,
No,
the
no.
Defense
Let
Against
him
the
go.
Dark Arts.
He's burying himself in a hole.
I'm not. I am absolutely not.
No, go ahead. I'll tell you why.
Yeah, because you think it's cursed. I don't give a fuck. In the fifth book, in the fifth book, that is, and you could hire a Joe Schmo who's not a. Anyways, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
In the fifth book, he had his hands tied. I'll give him hands tied, and he had to hire Dolores Umbridge.
He did have his
and
hands
she
tied,
is the
yeah.
worst, so I will not give you that one. I'll handily give you that one. In the sixth book, he hires a teacher only because that teacher could give him information on Harry Potter. Not
Smart.
because they're a good teacher. Not because they're a good teacher. He hires Horace Slughorn, not to the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts, but to the position of Potions Master.
At that point, Book
is
6
interesting.
is what you're talking about, right?
I am.
At that point, what was the most important thing at Hogwarts School? It was not the children learning Defense Against the Dark Arts. They had
Gotta be
substantial
Quidditch,
threat.
right? It's got to be Quidditch.
It's always Quidditch. It's always
Like
Quidditch. It's always
Voldemort
Quidditch.
was already he was
Go Tiger.
he had risen in power. There was a substantial threat. He wanted to protect the students
He's
by
not
getting information.
He's not protecting shit. He literally is like, I need to have this guy because he will be so obsessed with Harry Potter and like neglect every other student.
So what you're saying is he's smart enough to hire all these people to live under his roof, so that he can track their every movement.
I would never claim that hiring Voldemort's head attached to a turban named Professor Quirrell is a good or smart idea.
It is very good and very smart. You know where he is. You know that currently he can't do much harm because you are so much more powerful than him. It is best
right now.
to have him where you know he is. He's not going to go off doing God knows what somewhere else.
Is this canon?
I'm furious
He
right now.
can't do anything bad
Is this
because
canon?
you're a
He's hired
badass
nothing but
wizard.
Did Dumbledore
He is
know
hired-
that was Voldemort?
He
at the
absolutely
beginning?
knew. Yeah.
I will say, I can't say for certain.
There's no way he
but
didn't know.
The rest of the series makes it seem as if Dumbledore is the smartest boy in the universe. So I'm going to say that there's no way he didn't know. There's absolutely no way he didn't know. And if he didn't know, he was incompetent.
I agree that if he didn't know, he was incompetent, but he did know.
But
So he still let this motherfucker, like...
Yeah, it was a smart play.
Why is that smart?
Kept
What
him
is he
under
going
his
to
watch?
do there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I need another shampong. I'm furious.
Yeah.
Like, what is... If you're a piece of goo living on the back of somebody's head, you're not going to be able to do much.
Yeah.
Look,
It's best to have him where you know he is.
If a piece of goo is a person from 1974 named Daryl attached to the back of my head, not too much of a problem. If the piece of goo attached to the back of my head is Hitler, we're going to have issues.
Yeah,
So
but
to
it's
your-
Hitler, but like, he's Hitler attached to someone with no power. Like,
Yeah, Quirrell wasn't really
what are
much
they
of
going to
anything.
do?
Like, to your
He
point,
literally was this close to like making things happen.
He wasn't.
Like making the Dark
he
Lord
got
come
beat by
back.
a bunch of
No.
11-year-olds, though. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
he
I
did
don't
get
know.
beat by 11-year-olds.
Not 11-year-olds, 11-year-old. And only because he had a secret power that Voldemort didn't know was
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, how... what was
Guys,
that
have you ever
power?
tried to fight
Also-
an 11-year-old?
Also, let's
No,
talk
hold
about...
on.
Have
What
you ever
was that
tried to
power?
fight
We're going back.
an 11-year-old?
We're going
They're
back. We're going
very
back.
easy
We're going
to
back.
beat.
Let's go back.
So
Let's go back.
Voldemort
Let's
didn't
go
know
back.
he had this power. Guess who did? Probably Dumbledore. Go ahead.
You know what? Let's go back. Let's go back. All that Voldemort did then was literally put a death trap and said, "Hey, students, I know you're 13, but don't go through this door."
That does seem a little
The first
irresponsible.
the first movie. He tells a bunch of teenagers, "Don't go through this door
Preteens.
because it could be cool."
Yeah, that's exactly
they
what you
don't.
don't want to tell a preteen.
I'd also like to point out.
is.
I'd also like to point out, in that similar vein, the entire movie, Dumbledore is like, never go to the haunted forest. Never go. If you go to the haunted forest, you could literally fucking die.
Legally, doesn't that absolve him of culpability though?
No, probably.
True. He was trying to protect them.
Let's keep going. So there's a whole thing. We all agree the haunted forest is awful, and no student should ever be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is Dumbledore giving kids detention to go to the death trap that is the haunted forest?
I don't remember this.
They did. I remember in the movies they did walk around the haunted forest with Hagrid, right?
No, they did.
No, they were with Hagrid, though.
Harry got caught doing some fucked up shit, and
he was given detention.
Yeah.
He was given detention. No, he was given detention.
So they were chaperones.
And at that point, he had to go into the haunted forest. Which, if he was chaperoned by Hagrid, that would not be a problem. But Hagrid literally says, well, we can't all just walk around together, so how about you, Harry, and your biggest enemy, Draco Malfoy, you go around that side of the forest and see what happens.
This sounds like a Hagrid problem.
That is what Dumbledore
I
did.
agree with you,
Bryce. Problem.
It is a Hagrid problem, but I think Blake would contend.
How's that a Hagrid problem?
Blake would contend.
How is it not?
Dumbledore hired Hagrid, and if he was showing
100%.
this sort of trend of irresponsible decision making.
No.
So Dumbledore didn't hire Hagrid, by the way. Dumbledore did not hire Hagrid.
He was not given that detention from Hagrid. He was given that detention from the higher-ups. So everyone knows
the detention wasn't to go out there alone.
Regardless, Hagrid's a dumb cunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Dumbledore didn't hire him, first of all, and second of all, he's not a dumb
Yes, he did.
cunt.
Absolutely.
No, he did not.
He was employed at the discretion of Dumbledore.
Yes, he did.
No, so Dumbledore was a teacher at the time. He vouched for Hagrid because Hagrid was wrongly accused, and instead of just getting explicitly expelled and kicked out of Hogwarts, he was given basically an internship to be groundskeeper.
So that's fine. That's fine. Look,
he wasn't hired by Dumbledore.
I believe hiring of Hagrid as the headmaster, or excuse me, as the groundskeeper of Hogwarts is not the worst idea in the world. I will absolutely give you that. That is fine.
Like, would
I'm fine with that.
Would Hagrid have made a better headmaster than Dumbledore?
No. Hagrid's dumb as fuck. But my point is that Dumbledore could easily have a policy of, hey, everyone, if you go into the haunted forest, you could die. And he says that. He literally says that in one of his opening speeches. Sorry, one quick champagne.
Yeah, just get that Bubble Butler.
He hasn't been agreed with once, but he
has not drank out of this bottle. I've been impressed. Every single sip of the champagne has been through the Bubble Butler.
And it will be until the end of this episode.
Yeah.
But my point
or whenever you run out.
Yeah, well, fuck off. My point is, though, is that Dumbledore could have a policy of no students are allowed to go into the haunted forest for detention. But that is not his policy.
Or possibly Dumbledore knew that they would go off. He knew that Hagrid would let them go alone. He knew that...
How would he know that?
He knew that by virtue, Harry would then learn of these secrets of the forest, and that would help him later on. I'm just saying, he's a very powerful wizard.
So, Bryce, your contention that Dumbledore is good is because he is all-knowing, and because it all worked out.
Well, maybe not all-knowing, but
he
definitely knew more than he sort of let on.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that. I don't subscribe to that theory that he is an omniscient wizard.
Yeah, and it's your right to be as wrong as you want, but you are still wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm never been more mad. Never been more mad in my life right now. All right, so let's see.
So we touched on this, but I want to talk about it because we all know. Of course, we all know. But just to put it out there, you said that the Defense Against the Dark Arts position was cursed, which it absolutely was cursed.
It certainly is.
Why was it cursed?
It was actually cursed because Voldemort came to interview for the job, and Dumbledore turned him down, and it was cursed.
Not really interviewed. He came and basically demanded the job, and Dumbledore said, I don't know. I don't think you would be right around children, protecting the children, right? Because he had followed this dude's uprising.
That's fine.
That sounds like a good decision to me, Blake.
Yeah, and Voldemort said, all right, I can't have it. Nobody's going to have it for longer than a year. It's cursed.
Hey, Travis, except for Professor Quirrell literally has Voldemort attached to his head, so he did hire Voldemort.
No, Voldemort was not teaching that class.
Was he attached to Professor Quirrell?
Was he teaching the class? Did you see him take off his little hat thing and have a goo in the back of his head talk to the class?
Was the Lord Voldemort literally in the classroom with a bunch of children?
I think the real question is, was Professor Quirrell a person? did he retain his personhood?
Yes, he was a person.
Being attached to Voldemort, then I would say that he was the defense of the dark against the dark arts professor.
So as a lawyer, Blake, legally,
yes,
if I have a conjoined twin and I get a teaching position,
okay,
my twin is not a teacher.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
I think I follow.
I rest my case.
Yeah. Case closed.
Let me go ahead and reopen the case. Since we're talking about Voldemort and his hiring decisions.
Yeah.
Voldemort
I'd like
people?
to go through
who'd
every
Voldemort
hire.
Who'd
Voldemort
Excuse
hire?
me. I'm so sorry. I said that wrong. Let's talk about Dumbledore's hiring decision.
He did hire a bunch of Nazis, and I will grant you that.
A bunch?
But what I still want to know is how does that compare to the
he hired one
rate
double agent
of Nazi hiring that predated
You guys, wait,
Dumbledore?
Travis. This is important because we are talking about Dumbledore's hiring practice, right? Let me tell you every single
But
time.
say he cut the
we
hiring
know of.
percentage of Nazis from 10% to 5%. That's going in the right direction.
That's a good move. I'd agree with that. However, we have a lot of hiring decisions that don't make sense. Now, I want you, Travis. Travis, right now you have an 11-year-old child, and you're picking between the American Wizarding School or Hogwarts, right?
They got scholarships
Now,
to both because they're so gifted.
They're so gifted. They're the best child ever. So
Full ride scholarships.
You are thinking about, right? You're sitting there and you're just like, so which one of these schools has the better headmaster? Let me tell you, just only the hiring decisions of Albus Dumbledore. For the last 7 years, mind you, right? The first decision, he hires a literal terrorist.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yes, he did.
He didn't. Who?
He did. His name is Severus Snape. He hired a literal terrorist.
No.
Well,
he was a double agent. He was a friend.
He was.
That does not. Okay. What world would you let your child go to kindergarten?
I would, go to a kindergarten where the headmaster, the greatest wizard of all time, is getting information from the other side because he has a double agent employed for him.
Snape,
that would be fine.
Was Snape a double agent or a triple agent?
Double.
Because he was working for Dumbledore and then working for Voldemort, but then he was actually also
relaying information back to Dumbledore.
So I don't
Which
know.
is
There's
double agent.
three paths.
He was a Death Eater. He was a Death Eater, and then he turned over to Dumbledore. Yep. Regardless, here's the deal. Severus Snape teach for a decade under Dumbledore. If you ever told me that one of the teachers at your school literally worked for a terrorist organization, I don't care what he did to make amends. He doesn't get to teach my fucking children.
Yeah. Well, it really depends on
Now, here's the thing. In American schooling, that's often the case. There's a lot of... a lot of
terrorists in American schooling.
Also, the Nazis, they did awful things. There's absolutely no question the Nazis are bad, obviously.
But
I think we're all on that page.
Here we go. We're all anxiously awaiting your butt after the Nazis are bad.
After the U.S. stole some of the Nazi scientists, they did get us to the moon.
Okay, that's fair.
What the fuck? No, this is not complete and total. Like, hey, look, I need to get to the moon because we're the wizards of. No,
in this case, the moon was destroying Voldemort once and for all.
Wizard Nazis. All right, that's fine.
Question and a comment.
We're not even. You know what the best part is?
Question and a comment.
We're still arguing. We're not even close to done with my hiring decisions.
Question and a comment. Did a wizard make it to the moon ever?
No.
Comment. Let's be honest, in your scenario of my own 11-year-old child, the actual decision would come down to which Quidditch team was better because, as we all know, my genetics would lend themselves to have like an athletic probably future path.
Of course.
So my kid would most likely be a fantastic athlete, and they would probably go to where the most developed Quidditch program would be.
Seeing as I don't know what that is, I would still like to go back to the hiring
practices. You don't know what
Quidditch
is?
I'd like to hear Bryce's explanation on these hiring practices.
Okay, you haven't even read the book if you don't know what Quidditch is.
You know Quidditch.
I never heard of Quidditch. What's Quidditch?
Okay, so rule number one with Quidditch.
Hiring practices.
Hiring practices I'm 100% okay with because he kept his enemies close. He knew that they would only stay a year because that position was cursed, so they're not going to stick around and fuck shit up. But he had them there to gather information from them, keep them under a close eye,
Yeah.
It's a very smart move.
Can I go on a hiring practices rant now? I'm dying to do this.
Go ahead. I mean, you're already wrong.
Hey, go ahead. Take another
All
sheet
right.
of that bong real quick, and then let's get into it.
Oh yeah, not a problem. Let me pour that in, and I'll do this right at the end of it. So let's start out with before the start of the series, right? So before the start of the series, we have several hires that are insane. Number one, he hires a literal terrorist in Severus Snape.
That's undeniable.
Yeah, well, I disagree, but go ahead with whatever else bullshit you're gonna say.
Number two, he hires the divination teacher,
Trelawney,
who has literally well, you know what, I say literally, that's too much. I say she has, in her entire career, had 2 accounts of being an actual divination wizard.
She
entire time,
she delivered the prophecy to Dumbledore.
which is literally what I said. I said she has 2. She has one where she delivered it
Smart
to Dumbledore.
hire.
She has another one where she delivered it to Harry. But so when Albus hired her, she has 1 instance of being a divination wizard. 1.
Which was a pretty strong one, considering he didn't believe in that kind of magic anyway.
Who gives a fuck?
That's like-
there are literal centaurs and everything else that are much better.
That's like,
That's
I
like
have one invention.
not believing in magic and somebody doing some real magic in front of you. You're like, well, all right, I
There's
guess I'll
just one
hire you.
instance. No, it's like, hey, I want to interview for this technology job. I only have one invention. It's the internet.
Yeah, that's exactly what
really,
it's like, Travis.
That's really all I've
No,
got.
it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It would be like if 1,000 people invented 999 other internets.
No,
And this cunt
it's a
has
bullshit
one
magic
decent
that no one
internet,
believes
and
in,
then
and she
nothing
delivered
else.
a real
And
prophecy.
the other 9,900 people are just like, oh, this is way better. No, that's fuck off. No, does not. Oh, let me. Anyways,
He's so
Be
worked up, he's
careful.
spilling champagne everywhere.
I am.
champagne.
Champagne's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm furious right now.
It's like getting closer and closer to the edge every time you shift your hands and you emote with your bubble butler down the hatch. There we go.
No.
Now he's an extra gear.
Next hire.
We just gave him another
Let's
gear.
Yeah, you're wrong about that one. But, all right,
No,
go
I
ahead.
am
Let's- in the
absolutely
interest
right.
of time,
He hired
let's
the
go.
Dark Lord. He hired the Dark
He
Lord.
didn't. Go ahead. He explicitly didn't. That's why that position is cursed.
Hired the Dark Lord in the first year.
Literally
unequivocally did. Don't listen to Bryce. He is lying to you by saying that.
Well,
the
if he
Dark Lord
didn't,
is
so
cursed.
Bryce, to be fair, if he didn't hire directly the Dark Lord, he got duped by the Dark Lord, which is
No, he knew
if
he
he's
was there.
dumb enough to be duped by the Dark Lord, he
He
should
knew
be
he
the
was there.
headmaster.
He didn't hire.
so.
him.
Okay, so you're saying he did it on purpose, which I think
Yes.
is putting your students in danger. I mean, let's
It's
be
not
honest.
whenever he's weak as fuck as goo on the back of somebody's head, and you're the most
I
powerful
am not
wizard of
even
all time.
saying. I'm not even saying that he did it on purpose. I'm saying that it is unacceptable that he is so incompetent
This is like
that he would hire the Dark Lord.
LeBron James taking on a 2-on-2 pickup game with me. Like, of course he can
You-
take me.
Do you think?
Well, you said two. Are you on his team? Or
No.
you not? All right. Regardless, let me finish.
Bryce,
Let me get through this.
Do you think me and you could score a point on LeBron James if it's just 2-on-1?
Absolutely not.
No chance. No chance.
Zero
Not
chance
even
of that.
I think we can
Not
do
even
It's like a
on
kobold
accident.
trying to dunk on me. It wouldn't happen.
I think we could do
I'm
it.
not fast enough. I'm not tall enough. I don't have the skill. Like, there's zero chance.
It's like the exact opposite of
All
a
right.
Taylor affirmation. You're like, I'm not fast enough. I'm not smart enough.
No.
I'm not tall enough.
All right, so let me get through this. I'm going to run through all of Albus's hiring decisions that we know of.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up in the interest of
All
time
right.
here, bud. You're already
So-
wrong. You're going to keep being wrong.
Just digging that
Oh,
hole.
I'm furious. So divination wizard, who's not a divination wizard?
Literally
not a good
is.
one.
Literally probably
Not a
the
good
only
one.
divination wizard
Not
in
a
the
good
history
one.
of Hogwarts. Go ahead.
Not a good one. Not a good one. He hires a literal terrorist to teach potions.
You keep saying these things. They're already wrong. Keep going.
Hires a terrorist to teach potions.
That sounds right.
In his first year, he hires literal Lord Voldemort to teach the children. In his
Well, you keep going back to the
second year-
same things we've already said is wrong.
I'm going
Move
through
on.
all of them. Shut up. I want to make it very streamlined. In the second year, he hires a person who's so incompetent that every child who is like a student under them understands that they're incompetent. How did Voldemort? How did Dumbledore not realize that this man's incompetent? In the third year, he hires a literal werewolf who attacks children. In the fourth year, he hires a person who is literally under spells to look like a person and to kill Harry Potter. In the fifth year, his hands are tied. I will not give him that.
Yeah.
That is actually on. I'll give him that one.
Yeah.
In the 6th year, he continues to let a terrorist teach defense against the dark arts and hires a person only because they are so susceptible to Harry Potter's wiles that they might give Harry Potter a small amount of information, and then he's dead like a dumb cunt.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, Snape,
Okay.
who you're calling a terrorist.
Terrorist.
I will admit his practices are a little unorthodox when it comes to the children.
You talking about Snape or Dumbledore or both?
Snape.
Okay.
But Dumbledore absolutely 100% knew that this man loved Harry Potter's mom.
And that's not enough to give someone a job.
And that even if he was hard on Harry, in the end, he would protect the child that was most in danger at that school. So by your definition of a good headmaster, he was doing that to protect the child that was most in danger at that school.
Let me ask you
get it
this right
right,
now.
Blake,
Let me
that's
ask you
right.
this right
He
now.
did get it
What
right, too.
other? Are there no other potions professors who would protect Harry Potter?
Not like
Because right
that.
now he is literally nothing but a bully. He attacks every child
He
who's
was-
slightly wrong.
he was a bully.
He's very willing to to play favoritism.
Yep.
He is very willing to be unrelentlessly bullying to any child. He's
Yes.
an awful teacher, even without being a terrorist,
Bullshit.
which he is.
Not an awful
He's a
teacher.
damn terrorist.
He was a bully for sure. 100% he was a bully.
So why are you hiring that motherfucker?
he was a
Blake-
fantastic potions
Potions.
teacher.
He was
No,
really
he
good.
wasn't.
Knew
People
potions
suck
more than
dick at it.
anyone. And bonus, he loved Harry's mom to the point that even if he hated
Not a
Harry,
bonus.
he would
That's
protect him.
fucking
So
weird.
Blake,
Not a
also
bonus.
your
Weird.
objection infers that bullying kids is inherently wrong, and I'm not entirely sure that's right. I think bullying kids is not like automatically a
werewolf.
bad thing, you know?
Same with
Look,
the
I think-
werewolf.
I think
He
that- I
hired
think
the
that a lot of
werewolf
kids
because
need a
the
little bit of
werewolf.
bullying.
Wait, shh. Same with the werewolf. He hired the werewolf because the werewolf was very good friends with Harry's dad. He would absolutely protect what was most in danger at that school. Now, the threat coming into that school was not a threat to all children. It
Like-
was they wanted Harry, full stop.
Do you want to go on record saying all werewolves are bad? Do you want to go ahead and put that on the record?
Yeah, go ahead, Blake.
No,
Go ahead and
it's
put
not
that. Go ahead and
obviously
put that
I'm
out
not saying
there.
that on
But
record.
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know. Are
that
you
on
saying
the
that?
record. I'm absolutely not saying that on the record. What I'm saying is hiring a werewolf is a problem because those werewolves could attack the children. Now,
And they did.
I say that with evidence that the teacher he hired did attack the children.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're the most powerful wizard of all time. You're not going to worry about hiring a werewolf
Ron Weasley?
because
Oh, sorry, no, I'm
you're
talking about Albus.
capable of handling that situation.
Yeah. So
I disagree,
You kind of have a little
Dumbledore
bit
did
of,
not hire anybody he could not handle himself,
Yes, Voldemort. He hired Voldemort.
which he could handle himself. Voldemort is
He
one
died
of the only
before Voldemort died. That is absolutely untrue.
Well, he hired
Okay,
Snape
he
and Snape
sacrificed
killed him.
himself, and he was cursed anyway. He was gonna die regardless. He did it to like further the plot.
If he could have killed Voldemort in that moment, he would have. He didn't. He is a shit headmaster. That's all I'm saying.
No, he couldn't because Harry, like it was only Harry could do that.
Yeah, that's true. Let me go ahead and have this champagne. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I lost my point because you said some other bullshit that was wrong.
It's called Gish Gallop. You just say a bunch of bullshit about Albus Dumbledore, and then you get lost trying to defend every single point.
I feel like you have your views of Albus Dumbledore
Are correct.
are too good, Travis. Like you're supposed to be a neutral arbiter.
No,
I'm
I'm
No,
actually-
I think I'm
I
making
have
the
not
point
revealed-
better.
I have not revealed where I'm going to come down on this.
all right, so can I go ahead and put out some other things about Dumbledore that makes me think he's a shit cunt?
Yeah, of course.
He's literally using slavery with the house elves to run Hogwarts.
That's absolutely true. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true. He does condone slavery.
That is unequivocally true. He is using slavery to run Hogwarts.
Do they run it? What do they do there? I mean, there's no
They
question
clean,
that is
they
slavery.
cook, they run everything, and even
No, I
though
thought
they
some of
say
the ghosts cooked or something. Right? No, it's a magic food. It just appears on the table.
No, it's the.
Yes, they do, and that is all from the house elves.
The house elves make
100%.
Today I learned.
Yeah, it's slavery. They address
slavery.
Yeah, so Albus is totally cool with slave labor as long as they're fine with it.
Your argument is he's the worst headmaster of all time, and without a doubt, all headmasters have done that.
Like
so
a true
while
Southerner,
it's shitty,
Blake, I'm going to argue that he's just a man of his times, you know?
Yeah, while it is shitty, he's not the only one to do it.
My point is that he's a shitty headmaster, 100%.
I don't see how that makes it.
Fair
like
point.
Even giving your definition of what makes a good headmaster, that wasn't part of it.
So has there ever been a good headmaster?
Slavery is fine as long as you're an okay
Has there ever been a good headmaster, Blake? I don't know.
No, probably.
Clearly not.
There's got to be at least one.
Umbridge?
Oh, what a good one. I don't know. I think Albus sucks ass. I think he is miserable.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, I love sucking ass too.
I do like this conversation has steered completely into his professional life, and we haven't gotten personal at all. He did kill his sister, which I think personally...
he doesn't know for sure if he killed his sister.
I want nothing to do with that. I want it to only be about, is he a good headmaster?
He was plagued by that, and he doesn't even know if he did it.
Let me use the restroom.
Yeah, we all kind of know he did, though.
No, it was like a three-way battle, and any one of them could have hit her.
He did it, though. It was
you can think that. Either way, like even if he did it, one, it was an accident. Two, he felt bad about it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it did haunt him.
So I feel like if you're a shitty person, you wouldn't have any empathy like that.
Well, yeah, so I think Blake's contention, though, is not necessarily that he's a shitty person. It's that he is just really bad at his job.
And I disagree wholeheartedly. And I've told you my points on why. Do you know his whole name?
I know Brian is in there, which I thought was really stupid.
It is in there. It's like thrown in there like, and a normal name. Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian, Dumbledore.
Yeah, when I saw Brian was in there, I was like, that's just that's just pretty dumb. I don't know.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, all right, all these names are like fancy. Brian. Hey, if we have any Brians listening, what's up?
No, there's nothing wrong with the name Brian. It's just that it catches you off guard when you're like reading a person whose name is, you know, Albus, Dumbledore, like some fantastical naming convention. Yeah, Albus, Steve, Richard.
So Percival, that's like a normal name, right? I mean, not common, but like I've heard it.
Percy?
Wulfric, I don't know.
Was Percy Jackson? Was his full
All
name
right,
Percival
let's keep
Jackson?
talking
I
about
think
how
so.
this.
I think it was.
Let's keep talking about how this son of a bitch is a really shitty headmaster.
Yeah.
Right?
You have yet to make your point. Please.
I've made a shit ton of
the point.
I've made a shit ton of points.
You've made points that are wrong. I'm waiting for a right one.
Disagree.
Wrong points don't count.
All right, so first book. Let me go through
I
my
can
grievances.
spout lies if you want me to. It's not going to help my case.
Let me go through my grievances.
I thought that's what you've been doing.
First book.
Book number 1.
Well, he hired Lord Voldemort. That's my grievance.
We've already gone over this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. I'm going from book to book. I'm saying that one's fine. We'll move on. Second book. He hires a person who is so clearly incompetent at his job to teach children
Gilderoy
that
Lockhart.
it takes 2 minutes from being around him to realize that he sucks ass.
Yeah.
To a position that he cannot fill for more than a year. It has to be 1 year
Other
at a time.
people don't know that, though.
Can we hold Dumbledore responsible for...
He does, but other people don't.
Can we hold him responsible for not knowing the incompetence of Gilderoy Lockhart when no one else did?
No, you can't. Hey, can we hold anyone... You have to hold anyone culpable for who they hire,
If
right?
you read his books and you take him at his word, as you should,
But you don't,
he
and
was a
neither did
fantastic
Dumbledore.
person.
You can't, and neither does Dumbledore.
He had a good resume. You know? He had a good
Fantastic resume.
And he was a good interviewer.
The third...
Nobody knew he was lying in every book.
He was very charismatic.
The third book, he is so ridiculous, he's willing to give a 12-year-old child time-traveling capabilities.
That's Hermione.
Third book, he
And
was at
then
least like
make that
15,
child
16.
try to save someone who is a convicted murderer.
That is a lot of power to give... what were they, like 13, 14 at that point?
12. They were 12.
Like
well,
15
13,
or 16.
13. 12 or 13.
Third book is 15, 16.
No,
Are
it's
they
not.
really?
The third
15,
book is
16 seems
13.
high.
Harry becomes
When
a
do they-
wizard at 11.
Oh, it's 11?
Harry
I thought it was
becomes a
13.
wizard at 11.
Okay.
The second book is 12. The
thought it was
third book is
13.
13.
All right. Fair.
Thank you.
When did you guys get
So-
your time traveling capabilities? I don't think I got my license until I was like 17, so...
Exactly.
I'm still waiting.
So
I tried
Dumbledore
time traveling drunk
Dumbledore
once. They took it away.
continually says that this is way too dangerous for anybody to use, and if you even see your past self, you'll die. And he gives that to a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Because she's smart enough to use it. Clearly.
She was a smart girl.
She's smart. Doesn't mean she's smart enough to handle that.
Did she fuck it up? No.
Yeah.
How?
We had a whole fucking... Regardless.
Yeah, you can't even say
book.
anything. Go ahead. Yeah, let's move on. I can't think of anything.
I think it only helped. I don't think it hurt.
Yeah, it only helped. She may have been more tired, but like any college kid is.
Yeah.
Blake got a law degree. He should know.
I'm more angry. I've never been more furious in my heart. I need a whole shambong right now. Get that right now. Fourth book, right? Fourth book. Dumbledore holds a tournament where students could die. And
this was held regularly.
Don't
this
shut
is
up.
not
Let me finish.
Dumbledore.
Shut up. Shut up. Let me finish.
Our argument is whether he's a good or bad headmaster. This is a regular event like the Olympics.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It hasn't been around for hundreds of years, and he greenlights it.
Really? Oh, I thought it was like a regular thing.
No, it's a regular thing. It's absolutely a
Tri-Wizard
regular
Cup
thing.
hasn't happened in decades, at least.
Really?
So he wants to create. So prior to the rise of Voldemort, which he saw and knew and was tracking that was happening, he wanted to create unity within the wizarding world. That's a bad thing?
Yes.
Okay.
If part of great look. If I had a brand new idea and I'm like, I'm gonna really.
This is not brand new.
Fuck off. If I'm gonna make everybody really come together and we're all gonna be great, but there's a good chance a 17-year-old could die. Who's it?
He did not know a 17-year-old would die. How could he know?
No, he did not. No, he did not.
How could he
know
know that
But here's
it
the
would
deal.
be
Here's the deal.
whatever the thing was called,
deal.
a portal to go somewhere at the end of that thing?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But here's the problem. He knew that it should only be the 3 schools.
Yes.
And everyone who was above 17 is allowed to enter because they were an adult. So they made the decision as an adult to join.
Harry Potter
right?
was not over 17.
He was not.
Let me finish. So at that point, he realized that someone cheated to put Harry Potter's name in.
And he was bound by the rules to allow it.
No, he wasn't.
He was. He's not in charge of it.
He could have literally said, Harry Potter, jump in the water and climb out the ladder.
No, he couldn't do that.
Yes, he could have. He could have let that he could have let that person individually start a competition and quit.
Harry Potter absolutely had the free will to not compete.
No, he didn't. Once he was in the game, he had to be in the game. So I'm not going to blame Harry Potter.
He can be in it and not compete.
Which, hey, everything you're saying right now is something that Dumbledore should have realized and implemented. Yeah. Is my point.
He can't make him not do it. If you tell a teenager not to do something, what are they going to do?
Harry Potter literally told Dumbledore he didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
Harry
but he
Potter
still did.
literally could have heard from
Dumbledore.
Harry Potter literally could have heard from Dumbledore at the start of every competition. Start it, immediately end it, and walk out. You are not a real competitor. But Dumbledore does not ever say that.
Potter?
And he lets Harry Potter put his life in danger time and time again.
You have to cultivate this learning environment. You have to gain his confidence because he knew what was ahead for Harry Potter in future. He couldn't just tell him, you know what, you're not ready.
You don't have to do that.
Like you
could literally say, hey, you didn't want to be a part of this. That's not a problem. Jump in the water, climb out the ladder. You still competed for
Be
the
a little
magic,
bitch. Don't grow. Don't beat Voldemort when you need to.
He never did that. He didn't care about his students. He only cared about entertainment because he's a piece of shit.
Very wrong.
I think, ultimately, can we be honest with ourselves? Do you think that Albus Dumbledore wanted Harry Potter to win the Tri-Wizard Cup?
Well, he tried to help him
I think he did. And that.
I think he tried to help him not die.
I think that proves Blake's point.
I think he tried to help him win.
I think that proves Blake's point, which is that he encouraged, maybe not so explicitly, the participation of a minor into a very dangerous situation.
And this point.
Oh, by the way,
this point above all others. Hold on. This point above all others is what is most different between the books and the movies.
Well, let me finish this champagne.
So in the books, Dumbledore was very subdued in this. In the movies, he was very aggressive with how he accused Harry Potter of cheating and putting his name in.
Yeah, it seemed more pensive.
But that literally does not change my point. Regardless of whether you're aggressive of telling Harry Potter, why did you join this competition?
That's a fundamental difference.
No, it's not. Not when it comes to this. Not when it comes to my point. Let me finish it, and then we'll get there. Let me finish it. So it doesn't matter if you're like, why'd you join, motherfucker? Why did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Or if it's calm, right? It even makes
does
it
that not
worse.
matter?
It makes it worse when Dumbledore is calm. Because Dumbledore could have helped this kid get out of the competition in some way, but he never did.
I agree with that.
No, he didn't.
I agree
No,
with
he
like,
did not. No, he
He
definitely
helped him
did not.
by helping him.
Yeah,
no, he
but
never helped him. He never helped him in any way, shape, or form. He never helped this kid get out of it. He never said, hey, it's not a problem that you're in it. You could easily jump in the water and jump out. It still counts magically. No. Albus Dumbledore let this kid be put in harm's way for no fucking reason.
I agree with that.
Albus Dumbledore was there every step of the way. He was never in any real harm.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Was he?
He was. He
objectively was in harm's
With
way,
with the exception of when he was, taken by portal, away.
Well, he still had to fight a dragon.
No, he was absolutely in danger.
Everybody had to
every
fight a
single
dragon.
event.
Yeah, but
He was
it
absolutely in danger
was
every single event.
Yeah, come on.
Did anybody die from the dragon? I don't think so.
No.
It doesn't mean just because no one died from it doesn't mean it wasn't danger.
I will say.
I mean, sure, it was dangerous, but there were other people. Like there were hundreds of wizards there capable of handling that.
We keep arguing. Travis is trying to make a point. What are you saying?
No, I was going to say I will say that it was a tragedy that Cedric Diggory died, and that was probably besides the resurrection of Voldemort, the worst outcome of the Triwizard Tournament. But
Certainly.
we are forgetting the positive outcome of that, and that was the kickstarting of Robert Pattinson's acting career. And that
I'm back.
just
By the
was
way,
a
I am
really
so excited
good
for him
thing.
as Batman. The new trailers look amazing.
Yeah.
Also, Harry got his first love interest, which was fun.
Yeah.
Lame.
Chucho, she was there.
Yep.
But so I gotta Travis, who you agreeing with on this? Like I am.
Yeah, we need to
I'm
end this
dead
because we're just
set
going in
that he was-
circles.
That Dumbledore was a cunt.
Are we ready for? I mean, we've made our final cases. We've made our final
Travis, give us a
statements.
rundown.
How about this?
How you feel?
Travis? At this point, we both given a pretty good explanation of why we like or dislike Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions that we can answer?
I
You
don't
have to ask us individually, though.
Well, I'd say just one question. I'd like for the defense to
Who's the defense?
the defense of Albus Dumbledore as a headmaster.
So me.
That's
Bryce.
Bryce. So
Okay.
I'd like for you to take a little bit of time, and Blake has aired his grievances. He's kind of bullet pointed them, and to the extent of explaining why you feel like Albus Dumbledore was a good headmaster. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I'll say this: I think it's an objective fact that things went wrong under Albus Dumbledore. I think that's an
accurate.
objective. Like I don't think you can deny that. So with that being said,
That's accurate.
Bryce, address those things that went wrong, and why you still feel like Albus Dumbledore was the best man for the job.
Yeah. So, in the sense of brevity, because we are running long, and to be sort of, I don't know.
We'll just edit all the
all-encompassing.
bullshit. We'll just edit out all the bullshit. It's fine.
I'll say that he was unquestionably an incredible wizard.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
agreed.
Right?
That's fair.
And
agreed.
And during his time as headmaster, as far as we know, he faced the most difficult decisions as headmaster because he had one of the other most powerful wizards who was evil trying the entire time Harry was there to get in and murder this child. So he had an incredible task ahead of him. Everything he did was what he felt, whether you agree with it or not, was in the best interest of the children at that school, namely the one most in danger.
Neville, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Neville. He got hot, though.
All right, Travis.
The true main character of the books was Neville Longbottom.
Travis, would you? How are we going from here?
All right.
You were our moderator.
I think I've got a decision that I'm going to come up with without any deliberation.
Before you go, am I allowed to rebut
No,
Bryce's
you're
point?
not.
So I
No.
make a Final
This is
point.
the defense
You've
rests.
talked plenty.
The defense rests. I think
This
we got.
motherfucker, he has.
I think I know enough to make a decision here. And
All right.
this is a lot of responsibility that's resting on me right now as sort of the arbiter of truth for all the fandom. I think whatever I say is now what goes as far as
Yeah, absolutely.
whatever the Harry Potter fans what they might consider the quality of Dumbledore's headmastery to be. I think everybody's had some fantastic points. I've seen a lot of good champagne bonging in this podcast.
Top notch.
This has been really good. This has been fantastic. I've had some good beer. I've heard some things. I've heard some perspectives that I might not have considered beforehand. So I want to say this. I think my stance is final on this one point. Was Dumbledore a good headmaster? And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, he was not a good headmaster.
He was shit.
Based on what?
But let me caveat
to
this. Bryce brings up a lot of good points about the circumstances. In his last defense, he talked about the circumstances of his headmastery, which he faced and had to figure out a way to defeat the biggest danger to not only Wizarding World, but Muggle World. And he had to navigate all of that.
And he succeeded.
I think that's a very fair point.
Was he the best man for the job, even though he might not be safe and good in your sort of standard rubric for how you evaluate a headmaster? I think the jury's still out. I think that could be absolutely still the case. So
Blake, you can't say there was someone else better for the job without saying who that someone else was.
It was Hermione, even at 13 years old.
Fair.
I might actually buy that. I might actually buy that.
We can all agree it was Hermione.
Should have been Hermione the entire time.
It was fucking Hermione.
You know what? Harry and Ron fucking held her back. She could have been.
They did.
Very much
She
so.
could have been so fucking
back.
amazing, and she could have been like the most powerful wizard, wizardess, witch.
Ron was smart enough to nail that down, though.
We call those,
Witch,
Travis.
yes. Yeah.
Ron knew, later on in the series that this woman, he nailed it down, he laced it up. He got her.
Good for him. Good for him.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's out kicking
he
his cousin.
absolutely shot out of his league, and he got it.
That was a great episode, even though Bryce is very wrong.
No, he agreed with me at the end.
That was a ton of fun.
We're just going to gloss over that.
Let us know in the comments.
We're going to gloss over that.
Now, let us know on Instagram, Alcohol and Arcana, or Twitter, Alcohol in the letter N Arcana. Let us know what you think, because if everybody agrees with me, and I know you will, let me know.
No, they won't. They won't. Regardless.
If you agree with Blake, go ahead and just throw your opinion in the garbage. If you agree with me, send us a tweet or an Instagram shout out.
That's harsh.
Well,
that's harsh.
I think that was a great episode, and thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you ever want to find us, we are Bryce knows better than me.
I say it every time. You don't know?
No, I know, but it's more fun.
Alcohol and Arcana. Alcohol and Arcana on Instagram. Alcohol in the letter N Arcana on Twitter. alcoholandarcana.com is where you can find our podcast. Or alcoholandarcana@gmail, or each of our names individually, depending on who you want to reach out to, Blake, Bryce, or Travis at alcoholandarcana.com.
You're never going to want to reach out to me. My opinions are very steadfast, and I will not respond. No, I'm just kidding. I will respond. Thank you guys so much for listening. We do appreciate it, and we hope to see you next time. Thanks. We are Alcohol and Arcana.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.